Self-doubt. Examine your immediate feelings towards that one word. All negative, I'm willing to bet. For one hyphenated word, it has a hell of a negative stigma, don't you think? To that negative stigma, I would like to misquote the Smiths. Self-doubt is nice. Self-doubt can stop you from doing all the things you would like to do. Cries of outrage I hear, but this is a bad thing. Isn't self-doubt debilitating? Won't it stop me from my hopes, my goals, my dreams? I want to be the next David Bowie, a world-renowned author. I want to be the first to land on Mars. All well and good, but let me tell you the tale of a man who had similar ambitions. Franz Reichel. He wanted to be a brilliant inventor, and in 1912 he thought he'd cracked it. He was so confident in his new invention, the parachute, that he went to the peak of the Eiffel Tower and decided to jump off. He died on impact and left a 6-inch deep, Franz-shaped hole in the ground. Had he had a tad more self-doubt, then he could have lived out his dream. Instead, he fell to the ground like a sack of potatoes. John Lennon, a man I'm sure we all know. Even in the height of Beatlemania, when he had fans screaming his name, he had extreme self-doubt. This can be explained by a phenomenon discovered by William Blake. In short, Blake noticed that those who have copious amounts of a desired trait tend to question themselves. For example, the generous tend to think they're too greedy. Now, we could either see this as a bad thing, or we could recognize that we need more generous people in the world. I know to preach about self-doubt this way, you may be thinking it's because I've never had my own dalliances, the proverbial beast. This isn't true. I'm constantly riddled with self-doubt. My very presence here baffles me. It is what brought me to this moment in time in the first place. I know it may be hard to believe, seeing as I exude such an aloof nature, but I am a worrier. I stress about stress before there is anything to stress about. So naturally, I worry about my self-doubting nature. This isn't aided by people telling me that British modesty is abhorrent, that the only way forward in life is with a smug grin and a self-assured swagger. Although self-doubt is not something that should be nurtured, neither is it something to be squashed, shamed, gotten rid of instead of in easy steps. We are simply told that to admit self-doubt is to admit defeat, that should the sun and moon doubt themselves, they would simply go out. How ridiculous is it that something with such basic human nature is so negatively perceived? I say self-doubt should be as accepted as pride in your work, as healthy as loving yourself for who you are. Not just because self-doubt stops us from doing stupid things, but because when we accept self-doubt, we accept ourselves.